I never noticed that there's like a xylophone in the background. And like clapping sounds. Was that before? Like, I have to pay attention to Caine's route next time. But like, was that in the other versions? Or did they remix the background music? Anyway, doesn't matter. This is Commentary. I am Ary, and we are playing Tailor Tales Gray CH11 again because I'm addicted and I want to know how this will continue, even though I'm a little bit scared to get harassed now. Yeah, let's start. Nikki? I entered the auditorium. Oh yeah, finally we got to meet him. My voice echoing off the walls as I glance around the space for a sign of my old friend. The school day has just ended, with swarms of students leaving the grounds right as I arrived. Seeing them in the halls and filling out their crafts rooms has sent a wave of nostalgia rushing over me. The fact that this is the second time this week that I've been back at the school is a strange feeling in and of itself. Checking over my messages from Nikki once more, I scroll up and make sure that this is where I'm supposed to meet him. Hey Ary, over here! A voice, both familiar and strange, echoes from the space, and I look up to find Nikki walking out on the stage in front of me. Oh wow, you had a glow up. Dang! Dude! He smiles as You were a gang member? Oh my god. He smiles as I approach, resting his hands on his hips while I take the side stairs up onto the wooden stage. Nikki, it's been so long, I say as he extends his arms and hugs me in greeting. Too long, he chuckles softly. This one. Oh wait, actually, let me go back for a second. Oh, I could not name my character. Well, I'm just gonna read it. His warm breath ruffles my hair, and when he pulls back, I get a good look at him, hardly recognizing the man in front of me as the boy I knew 10 years ago. He must have been a late bloomer, because where he once stood a good few inches shorter than I am, he now towers over me. Not only that, but the glasses and slacks he wears only add to his mature appearance. As a teacher, he definitely looks the part. Wow, when did you get so old? I joke, and he lets out a snort of laughter. Look who's talking. Kitsune has turned into a full-blown adult. Who would have thought? Yeah, I wave a dismissive hand in front of me, enjoying the easy banter. Nikki puts his hand on his hips, still grinning broadly. So, what did you bring for me to look over? He gestures for me to take a seat with him on the stage of the edge. Different way around. At the edge of the stage, and I sit and open the bag I've brought with me, pulling out a few different fabrics, swatches, and a notebook. The costumes are ready to be put together, so all I need is your approval on the designs and fabric. I then flip open my notebook, showing Nikki the designs I had put together for the costumes. They're perfect, he says with a grin, tracing a finger over the paper. Exactly what I had in mind. And now for the most important part, the fabric, I say as I spread the swatches out between us. For Romeo's tunic, there's the green or the navy, with silver or gold for the trim. Which one you don't choose, I can use for Mercutio. Let's go with that one, Nikki says as he points to the dark blue swatch, with the silver trim. Okay, great. I scribbled a note in my notebook next to Romeo's choice. And for Juliet, I was thinking of this one here. To show him I show him the scarlet velvet, and he nods his approval. Honestly, you've got a better eye than I do for these things. What you've put together already looks great. I'm excited to see the final product. I'm glad you asked me to help with the costumes, I say honestly, as I make a few more notes. It's nice to do something a bit different from every now and then. And I still can't believe you work here. I add with a soft laugh, glancing around the place. It's so weird. It's actually a pretty good gig, Nicky says with a chuckle as he pushes his glasses up the bridge of his nose. I like being able to keep an eye on this place, make sure our rivals don't get too comfortable. Nice to see your motives haven't changed, I say with a small giggle. Oh, he would be livid to see the phantom on my arm, or like near me anyhow. Laughing together with Nicky feels just like our old school days, as if barely anything has changed. When the amusement finally fades, he gives me a meaningful look. Does it feel strange being back here, after all these years? It's actually not the first time I've been back, I said without thinking, quickly wishing I could take it back. Your raises are curious, bro.
Huh?
It's not? When were you here last? I give him a tight smile and rack my brain for an excuse, something that won't raise his suspicions. Sarah wanted me to come by and visit a few weeks ago, for old time's sake, you know? You should have let me know. We could have made it a real reunion, he says with a fun smile. I let out a breath I've been holding, saying no more. I feel bad about lying to Nicky, but it's not like I can just go ahead and tell him the real reason I was here. He'd never understand. But then another thought occurs to me. Nicky has always been great at getting information and knowing everything that there is to know about the people around here. Perhaps I could use that to my advantage once again. Hey, do you remember Ivan Novak? I ask him, attempting to keep my tone casual. The hammer? Sure, everyone remembers him. Do you know what happened to him? He thinks quietly. He thinks quietly for a second. He disappeared right out of school. There were plenty of different rumors going around. Some say he joined a bigger gang, others that he went to prison. Knowing Ivan, neither of those options would surprise me. He showed up again about 2 years ago, looking buff as hell. Caused a bit of trouble around the town with a couple of buddies, working up gambling debts and got him banned from a few establishments. Or so I hear. His nose wrinkles when his eyes settle on me. Haven't heard anything about him in a little while now. What do you ask? Oh, no reason, I said dismissively. It was just something I was thinking about. Nicky nods slowly, his voice quiet when he speaks next. Kitsune, the hammer, and the phantom. You all disappeared, didn't you? The phantom, I start after hearing Ray's old nickname spoken out loud, a lizard buzz going through me. From the Capo High, remember? Nicky asked with a furrowed brow. He and Ivan are buddies now, or so I hear. Shakes his head as he thinks about it, his face darkening. I don't know what they're up to together, but with the both of them involved, it can't be anything good. I swallow hard, finding it increasingly difficult not to look Nicky in the eye. Instead, I gather up the fabric swatches in front of me and start putting them back in my bag. Is everything okay? He asks, and I turn a brief smile on him. Yeah, fine. Why? Shakes his head and smiles. Sometimes I miss it, you know? The gang, the conflict. Roaming the streets at all hours of the night just looking for trouble, he says, staring off to the side longingly, before it turns to me again. What about you? I mean, yeah, sometimes, I guess. Because we are looking for trouble right now, with these guys in our basement and everything. Come on. I guess sometimes, I admit. I think back on the gang and the friends we both spent on our time with. I mean, before the, knife thing, right? I miss spending time lazing around on the roof in the sun and running around the town just going crazy. It was a fun time. Yeah, it was, Nicky says with a smile. It's a shame that things changed so much. I would have liked to stay in touch. Me too. I'm sorry I didn't. I give him a tight smile in return. It's really good to see you again, Nicky. Yeah, it's been great. He nods as he pushes himself off the stage and then helps me down beside him. We should catch up more often. Maybe go for dinner or something. Is he hitting on me? I know the request is perfectly innocent. Two old friends catching up over a meal. But when my thoughts drift to Gray, I hesitate. I've already got enough on my plate at the moment. I'm pretty slammed with work, But I see you had to play. Maybe we can have a celebratory drink afterwards. I'll bring Sarah too.
Huh.
That sounds great. I'll be saving a seat for you, he said with a smile before we say our goodbyes. Wait, I think I saw one of the CGs of Gray, like in the Patreon, and I think I know what will happen. I mean, maybe not, but like, this is a stage. I will tell you when this happens, if I was right. Like, but I think I just like connected two things. Like, they just, yeah, slipped into place. With the last glance around the auditorium, I hoist my bag over a shoulder and head back to the store. I'm not saying anymore because I don't want to spoil anyone. I step into the back hallway after returning home, ready to head up to my apartment and grab some dinner. Meeting with Nikki had been great, and it was nice to see him again after so long, but I couldn't shake off some things he had said, particularly about Ivan and Gray. It's no secret that Ivan is a regular at Gray's game nights, but after hearing Nikki's suspicions and knowing Ivan better than I want to, I can't help but wonder why he would ever have an interest in something as simple as board games. He doesn't, it's not board games. And after thinking about it more in depth, it makes me question why someone like Gray would show such a big interest in them too. Something doesn't add up. I'm just about to head upstairs when the back door opens and the man in question steps through into the hallway. Gray looks up at the sound of my footsteps, seeming surprised to see me. Hey, I greet him, a little hesitant after the way we parted last time. Hey, he says as he shuts the door behind him, and to my relief gives off one of those familiar crooked smiles. I barely heard from you all the past few days. You've been quiet, I say with a hint of disappointment. He rubs the back of his neck awkwardly, the key still jingling in his hands. I mean, he probably doesn't know how to deal with this right now. Yeah, I didn't want to disturb you. Yeah, he probably thinks like I'm not interested at all. Right? So he's like, okay, I have to calm down and forget about her. This is just a professional thing. I just rent her basement, that's it. I don't mind being disturbed a little, I grin, prodding him a little more. I keep that in mind, he said with a breathy laugh, before pacing over to the basement stairs. Gray, I say out loud before he can disappear completely. I've been thinking, maybe I could sit in your game tonight. His eyebrows dip, just as though that wasn't what he was expecting me to say, and his keys jiggle when he tightens his grip on them. Why would you want to do that? He asks, and I can tell the request had thrown him off. Yeah, because it's not a game night! We all know it's not a game night! Whatever it is, it's not that. My eyes narrow at that. I have never seen him so uncomfortable before. Just to see what it's all about, I press, and in an instant his hesitance disappears, replaced instead by a cold dismissiveness. It's pretty boring. I'm sure you wouldn't like it. Let me decide that? You don't want me to come? It doesn't bother me in the slightest. I'm only thinking of you. A small smile finds its way onto my face, and now I'm more determined than ever to secure an invitation to this game night. I think I can handle a couple of board games. I used to play all the time when I was a kid. Gray watches me for a second, weighing up the decision in his head. Eventually, he lets out a dramatic sigh. Okay, you can join in. Just give me half an hour to get everything set up and meet me downstairs. Yeah, he's probably gonna text them all. Okay, like, guys, we have to play this board game tonight to have a come-up. She wants to see it. I give him a broad smile, happy he'll let me in on his secretive board game night. Naive summer child. Voices echo on the other side of the door as I approach. Though when I lift my hand and knock, they all hush suddenly. Yeah, because they're like, okay, what's the story? Like, I will do this, how does this work? What is this game? I lean in closer, ear against the door, until it flies open in front of me, and Gray stands there, raising an eyebrow at me. I'm glad you could make it, he says with a smile, gesturing for me to enter. He was probably also feeling bad about lying to me. I let out an awkward giggle and follow him down the stairs. Gray looks suspiciously happy when I enter. Ary, this is everyone. Everyone, Ary. A chorus of greetings rings out, and with his hand on my back, Gray guides me to a chair set up between himself and Jed, of course, at a large round table. Like these are like the only two people that Gray really trusts. He can. Whoa, what was that sound? He can he can control himself and Jed, and that's all that. You know what I mean? Good to see. Good to see you again, Ary. Jed says with a smile and a nod of his head. And then he leans in closer to ask quietly. So, Sarah didn't come with you tonight. Oh, he has a thing for her now. Oh, I didn't actually ask her, I admit, wondering for the first time if I should have. Me being here was kind of just on a whim. Stop pestering my guest, Jed. She's here to play a game. Gray waves a hand between us before taking his own seat and facing the table of players. Jed holds his hand up in front of him innocently and says no more. Are you ready? I give him a small nod, anxious to, yet excited to know what he's going to tell me. So, the game's called Dragon Den. Okay, I glance over the empty table. Where's the board? It doesn't have a board, Gray answers. They don't have the game. And the pieces? No pieces either. You use your imagination. Oh, so it's like pen and paper. I've thrown at that. I've never played a game without a board before. Perhaps I've seriously misunderstood what board games really mean. No, you didn't misunderstand anything. We do, however, use these. Gray jangles a small pouch in front of me, before tipping the contents into its palm and showing me the collection of dice sitting in his hand. Then he leans back in his seat to speak behind me. Since it's your favorite game, Jed, I think you should be the Den Master. Wait, are they actually playing pen and paper? No way, he said as he puts the dice back into the pouch and tosses it to his friend. Oh, I couldn't possibly. It was you who introduced me to Dragon Den in the first place. Wait, are they actually playing pen and paper down here? He pushes the pouch back to Gray, who scowls at him. I thought it was called Dragon Den. Wait, how's... Did he say something yet? Dungeon Den! Oh no! He misspoke! Oh no! This is a cover-up. I was... Dude, but I was so close to being like, wait, did I make it up? Like, I was so close to being convinced. I didn't even pick it up. Did I might actually have said Dragon Den. I thought it was called Dragon Den. Jed clears his throat quietly, his eyes shifting from side to side before resting on the table in front of him. It is. I was just testing you. Gray snatches the pouch of dice and he's like, okay, I have to get this under control. Still glaring at Jed as he does. Fine. I'll be the Den Master. Everyone needs to come up with a character. After some simple instructions on how to create your characters, shouldn't they already know? Everyone around the table takes turns describing who they'll be playing as. We end up with a few elves and dwarves, some humans, and even a goblin. When it comes to... That's a lot of people. When it comes to my turn, however, everyone looks at me expectantly. Oh, my character is a human, I guess. And their profession? Gray asks. I think quietly for a moment before deciding to go with what I know best. Seamstress for the nobles of the court. Let me guess, her name is Ary. No, it's not. I nudge his shoulder playfully and he chuckles. Oh shit! Okay, should I... I wanna say Kitsune, but I can't do that, right? So, how about...
3 weeks later.
I have no idea.
Many months later.
I'm just gonna call her Karma. I don't know. But maybe with a C, yeah. Karma. Her name is Karma. Alright, Karma. I'll narrate the setting, and then after that you can start us off. Huh? Why am I starting? Wait, I'm still in the voice. I'm not in agreement, even though I still have zero idea what I'm doing. Holding the pouch of dice in his hands, he clears his throat dramatically and begins the game. It was a beautiful day in the kingdom of Basementia.
Huh.
The snort escapes Red, his shoulders shaking with quiet laughter. Basementia, really? Shut up. You had your chance to be the den master. Gray fires back at him, and for a moment I regret sitting between the two of them. As I was saying, it was a beautiful day in the kingdom of Basementia. Birds were chirping, maidens were singing, etc., 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 etc. I raised an eyebrow at Gray, wondering how many times he's played Dragon Den before now. There was a small town where a bunch of people lived, including all of your characters. The town was right outside the castle walls.
Huh?
Really? So, elves, dwarves, and humans all lived together in the same town. Jed says in disbelief, folding his arms over his chest. Don't make it harder for your friend to make up a story. I mean, like, as a cover-up. In a real pen and paper, do that. Seems unlikely. Don't forget the goblin, I add. Gray glowers at the pair of us. This is my game. When it's your turn, you can decide who lives together. Jed mumbles something beneath his breath, and Gray continues his introduction. Suddenly, an enormous dragon attacks the town. It burns down half the buildings and all of your homes. It's chaos everywhere. Blood, screams, fire. Turns to me all of a sudden. Karma, what do you do? Oh, unprepared, I quickly rack my mind for some kind of answer. Oh dang, okay. I mean, I find a weapon in the rubble and hunt down the dragon. I'm the main character. I mean, normally I wouldn't, but like I would tend to people, but whatever. I find a weapon in the rubble and also like this is like a fighting character, right? Like this MC is feisty. I find a weapon in the rubble and hunt down the dragon, I say with determination, earning a few oh from the table. You will need a roll. You will need to roll a, let's say, 15 to be successful. Gray explains. Okay, I answer. He rolls the dice on the table in front of him, and as they all scatter, he silently adds the numbers together. Only a 13. Sorry, Ary, he says with a shrug. So what happens now? I ask through Gray raises a hand to silence me, launching into his story once again. You spot a glimpse of silver in the rubble and your ruined home, recognizing it as your father's old sword, which used to hang above the mantle. Fire blazes around you, but you gather your courage and head towards it, determined to do anything to stop the monster who has laid waste to your town. Before you can take another step, the burning building crumbles in front of you, a wooden beam knocking you to the ground. What? I explain in surprise, then slump back in my chair. Jed, it's your turn, Gray says as he ruffles my hair playfully, laughing softly when I push his hand away. You come across Karma in need of assistance, he says to his friend, who wrinkles his nose in thought. I, Sir Bread, have Karma to her feet. You could have come up with a better name than Sir Bread. Gray mocks as he readies the dice. It was the best I could do at that time. Okay, Sir Bread. You need to roll an 8 or higher. Gray tosses the dice on the table, adding them up again. And that's a 7. You fail to help Karma to her feet. She gives you a dirty look as she pushes herself up and dusts off her dress, wondering why you didn't help her. I tried!
Ugh.
Next. Gray ignores him and continues the story. The fire is spreading, blazing so fiercely that it will destroy the rest of town if nothing is done. The game moves on to a player next to Jed, who scratches his head in thought. I go to the nearest tavern and order a drink? He says with a toothy grin, and Gray gives him a dumbfounded look. A dragon has just destroyed half your town, and you're going to go and have a drink. Yeah. Alright then. Gray tosses the dice and nods in an identification that the task is successful. You successfully locate the nearest tavern, which is miraculously still standing, and head inside. The barkeep is nowhere to be found, so you pour yourself a mug of ale. Nice, says the next player. For my turn, I'm gonna join him at the tavern. Oh my god. Gray sighs and briefly closes his eyes. The point of the game is to work together to solve the issue at hand, he says tiredly. Which currently would be the fire and the dragon. Well, we only learned about this game 5 minutes ago, one of the men protests. Oh no, he spilled the beans! The guy sitting next to the man elbows him quickly and quietly shusses him. Wait, you haven't played this game before? I ask around the table. There's an awkward pause before Gray cuts in. He means the campaign. Each time we play, it's usually a different story. The players all give some kind of half-hearted nod in response, though I'm still frowning. Oh, okay. I turn to Gray, catching the end of the death glare he throws at the table at the other guy before he rolls the dice once more. How stupid is this MC, or like how stupid do they think I am? It's either of these things. Oh my god. The music is fire though. As you enter the tavern, the dragon returns and spews fire over the building. The place collapses and the both of you suffer a nasty, fiery death. What? Hey! Wait, was this his revenge? What? The two players who have just been wiped from the game throw their heads up in outrage. That's what happens when you ignore what's going on around you, Gray says, and the shadow of a smile tilts his lips. We go around the table one more time, though the story doesn't go very far, and the people of the town are still being ravaged of the imaginary dragon. The players seem to all be as equally confused as I am, which makes me wonder if it really is the first time any of them have played the game. My turn comes around again, and I stop to think what could possibly help out characters in this situation. Our characters. I rally my companions and arm them with whatever weapons we can find, making a final stand against the dragon, I say with bravado, and my fellow players give an applause. Oh, risky move. You need at least a 19 to pull it off, Gray says with a grimace. He rolls the dice in front of him, adding up the total. 14. You fail to properly arm your allies. As a result, the dragon eats your companion, the goblin. The guy who was playing the gob pouts and sits back in his chair. I shrug helplessly and mouth, "I'm sorry," at him. Your turn again, Sir Brad, and maybe pick something useful this time. Gray says cheerfully, seeming to be the only one who is actually enjoying himself. I safely take Karma away and ride off with her into the sunset. The end. Jed says with a scowl, and Gray jumps at a hand against. Wait, and Gray thumps a hand against the table in front of him, making a jump. You can't do that. It's my character. I can do what I want. You can't just ride off and leave everyone else to die. Well, I don't want to play this game. I don't want to play this game anymore. Gray grits his teeth as he clenches the dice between his fists, his nostrils flaring wide. Fine, let's call it a night then, shall we? He pouts as he tips the dice back into their pouch, ignoring the grumbles of the players around us. Sounds good to me, says Jeb with a grin. I look between them, confused. With the game night coming to an end, I hang back as everyone leaves, saying their goodbyes to Gray at the door. So confront him now, please. Like, dude, confront him. This is not what they were doing all these nights. The two of us leave the basement together, and when he turns back to lock the door, I linger for a little longer. I had fun, I say when he turns to me again, and earning a disbelieving look from him. Really? Yeah, we should play Dragon Den again sometime. Even if the game was confusing and chaotic, oh my god, how dumb is this MC? I am sorry, but what? It was still a lot of fun. Like, I'm sorry for, like, interrupting so much, but they even said they'd learned it 5 minutes ago. Like, there were so many hints. Come on. No. I even had a good break line that in a wait. I haven't had a good break like that in a long time.
Huh.
Okay, sure. Gray agrees with a confused smile. Yeah, he's like, that worked? She believed it? A sound at the top of the stairs draws our attention, and we turn to find Ivan standing here, peering down at the two of us. Why is he at my apartment? My stomach drops at the sight, completely unprepared for another confrontation with the man.
Oh.
Oh. Look who finally decided to show up, Gray says as he heads up to the stairs towards his friend. A strange feeling settles over me as I follow, my tongue glowing heavy in my mouth. I don't want to see Ivan, especially not after what had happened the last time he'd come into the store, and after all the suspicious things? What? Suspicions that Nikki had put into my head. I haven't told Gray what happened that night. You should, thinking that I can handle myself well enough, but that doesn't stop me from being wary that what Ivan is capable of. It looks like I missed out on a fun night, Ivan draws, and there's something strange about his tone of voice. He looks around Gray and leers at me, and it's only now that I see the puffy eyes and the drunken smile. Hey, pretty thing. He grins, revealing big white teeth. Alright, Ivan. Time to head home. Gray puts a hand on the other man's shoulder and spins him towards the door. Ivan looks at Gray in confusion, seeming reluctant to leave.
Huh?
You cancel the game? Game's over. You should have showed up earlier, Gray replies. You told me it was being pushed back to 9. I've spent the last few hours drinking at the bar on the corner while I waited, Ivan protests.
Huh?
Did I? I could have sworn I told you to show up at 7, Gray says, and I get the impression that's not what he had said at all. I don't know exactly what he would have wanted to keep, why he would have wanted to keep Ivan away tonight, but I can't say I'm not grateful for it. I mean, he probably saw the look he gave her, like, in her pajamas, and he did not want her to make any jabs at her. Right? He did not like that at all, like, right out the get-go. No, you said... I think you said 9. Yeah, I'm sure you did. Ivan carries on as he plants his feet in the doorway. Oh well, there's always next time, right? Gray says with finality. It takes a little more convincing on Gray's part, but I watch quietly as he gently pushes Ivan through the door, wishing him a good night before locking it behind him. With Ivan finally out of the way, Gray turns back to me. You okay? He asks. Yeah, I say with a reassuring smile. He throws a concerned look towards the door, but returns to me with a smile. You should be careful around that guy. Why are you friends with him? I can't stop myself from asking, earning a soft grin from him. I wouldn't say we're friends, but I prefer keeping him close enough that I can keep an eye on him. Makes sense, and I start to realize that Nikki had it all wrong. The two of them aren't friends at all. You'll tell me if he does anything that makes you uncomfortable, right? Gray adds when I don't say anything. Tell him! He's even asking you for it! Why are you so stupid? I'm sorry, but like this... Tailor Tales, like... Seriously, I love you. Like, okay, like this... Your character, like your main MC... is always so intelligently written. Like, she has her flaws, she has her weaknesses and stuff, but this is just stupid. I'm sorry, but this is just stupid. Anyway. Of course, I say with a nod, and he seems satisfied with the assurance that is a complete lie. At least it seems Gray is keeping an eye out for me. Yeah, but he would, like, do it more seriously if, like, he knew that there's actually some... Like, he's already concerned. Oh my god. I have to stop. I have to stop. And the episode is over. That's probably a good thing. And I'm just gonna not say anything anymore, because I'm just angry about this main character. And yeah. See you next time. Bye!